You celebrate your life. Celebrate the good and the bad, the happy, the sad, the joy and the pain, the sun and the rain. Celebrate life. Celebrate your life with love.
Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to A Spiritual Remedy. My name is Sunshine Day, and it is a joy to greet you on this day. Wow, here we are in the month of October, the second Monday in October, and today in the U.S., we are celebrating Indigenous People Day. Indigenous Peoples Day, and I just want to take a moment to recognize the land that we're on here in the U.S. and just give thanks to those people who tended to the land and cared for the land, that I might enjoy my life on this land in this moment. So there are so many of you who are already on, and I just want to say welcome and good morning. A spiritual remedy is geared toward people in recovery, especially those people who are laying down their weapons of mass distraction. And what are weapons of mass distraction? Of course, they can be drugs or food. They could be sex or gambling. It could be, the use of our cell phones, those things that distract us from living our best life. So if that be you, if you find that you are distracted, whether you're in recovery or not, you're welcome to the show. And I love that you get an opportunity to be here with us today. What I do is I get to provide spiritual tools and some loving support for your personal transformation. And it is always a joy to say hello to you. Nancy's already up and at it. She's saying it's going to be a great day. And I absolutely believe that to be so. It is already a great day. So thank you, Nancy, for hanging out. Let us know where you are seeing us from and what's happening in your world today. If there's anything that you want to talk about in particular as it has to do with recovery, as it has to do with staying sober, staying abstinent, staying away from those things that are distracting us from living our best life, then go ahead and put it in the chat so that I might recognize what's happening in our world today. I want to start off by talking about a daily spiritual practice. And for me, a daily spiritual practice is a life affirming practice. Hey, Alina, thank you. Yeah, you're celebrating the indigenous as well. Thank you so much for that. Um, a daily spiritual practice, and for me, spiritual means life affirming, that which affirms our life. If it's affirming your life, then for me, it's a spiritual practice. I remember a silly commercial that was a bunch of people whale watching, and somebody said, oh, I need some gum, and they reach down and they get some gum, and when they go to put the gum in their mouth, like this whale breaches, and then you just kind of see the splash, and the guy says that was spiritual, but the person who was going for the gum just totally missed that experience. And that experience, anything that is life affirming, is what I'm talking about, that is spiritual. And watching, of course, nature and wildlife breach the surface, and to give us a peek at their life and their largeness and their beauty and their divinity is, of course, spiritual. I'm wondering what you find spiritual, and what some of your daily spiritual practices are. I'm gonna give you a clue, because I know this of Nancy. When Nancy says it's gonna be a great day, that affirmation for Nancy is a daily spiritual practice. And that's an example of a daily spiritual practice. Jan Ford, what's up, beloved? It's so good to have you with us today. And the same is true for you, Jason Wise. What is happening? Um, yeah, so, for me, when I recognize whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, whether it's 5 o'clock, for me, one of my daily spiritual practices is as soon as I know that I am alive, like I did not fall into the eternal ness of my life and leave the human body, when I recognize that I am alive in this human body, I like to say, it's a great day to be alive. And that's how I start my daily spiritual practice, is by saying, and sometimes saying out loud, it's a great day to be alive, and reminding myself and setting myself up for an amazing day. It's a great day to be alive. And it's all really about our mindset and setting the intention for the day. It's a great day to be alive. Any day for me alive in my situation and what I'm having, it is me. It is me saying it's a great day to be alive. And that's one of the ways that I start my daily spiritual practice. Nancy's commenting on what I said about her. She says it has enhanced the quality of my life. And that is exactly the key. Thank you, Nancy, for saying that, is that our spiritual practices enhance the quality of our life. And if you want to start living a quality life, a life worth living, like a life worth living, like what? Is that even possible? A life worth living, a life that I'm like saying, oh yeah, like this is freaking awesome. That's exactly, what I'm talking about. What are your spiritual practices? For me, that affirmation, it's a great day to be alive, it's going to be a great day. It absolutely enhances the quality of my life, because I begin then to look for all the ways my life is great. And from there, I begin to talk about, and I begin to just move into this gratitude practice. And I'm so happy so many of you are into the gratitude practice with me. And I begin to appreciate my body temple. And so when I am appreciating my body temple, what it looks like is sometimes I'm perfectly still, and sometimes I actually touch my toes. I touch my feet and I go, I appreciate my feet. I appreciate my ankles. I appreciate my legs and my knees. I appreciate my hips. I appreciate my sex organs. I appreciate my torso. I appreciate my hands. I appreciate my arms. I appreciate my elbows. You know, I appreciate my elbows and that my elbows bend. I appreciate my face and my skin. I appreciate my eyes that I can see. And even when I'm wearing glasses, I appreciate my eyes and that I have these things that I can put on enhance enhance my seeing, and my hearing, and to have this opportunity to move into the spiritual practice of appreciation and gratitude, because what I appreciate appreciates. Um, I still want to know. Oh, here goes Jan. Jan says, I start the day by thanking Spirit for waking me. Yes, thank you, God, for another day of life. Thank you, Spirit, for waking me. Then I start meditation and prayer. Absolutely. And meditation and prayer are amazing. And the point of today's just kind of sprinkling out with spiritual practices is because not only does it come from me, but it comes from you. Like, we all teach each other. We're part of a learning community here at Vida Spiritual Learning Center. And, we learn from each other. And so, wow, that opportunity to get into prayer, into meditation by being grateful. Alina says, "Do we still appreciate the body temple after it has deteriorated or has some dis-ease?" Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. And here's the reason why I'm going to say absolutely. I'm going to say yes to the practice of appreciating even with the appearance of dis-ease, because here is one spiritual truth. Oh, okay. I just hit my desk and I'm shaking. It's not an earthquake. It's okay. Here's the thing about the body temple, or when the appearance of disease, whether it's diabetes, alcoholism, mental health challenges, um, am I still grateful? Because here's the idea and the thought and the thing that we teach within our spiritual community is that there is one power, one presence, one life. That life is spirit. That life is the only thing. And that life is my life now. And here's how to make that bridge and connection. Here's the idea. The idea is that there's spirit and only spirit, and there's only ever been spirit, God, infinite intelligence, higher power. And because it was the only thing, and because it is the only thing, otherwise there's spirit and something else, but spirit created out of itself through an act of involution, created everything out of itself. Therefore, everything is a unique, unrepeatable, magnificent way that spirit shows up. Now, spirit shows up in human form. Spirit shows up as the birds, as the mountains, as the water. Spirit is all there is in all of these forms. For us on planet Earth, we have this idea of duality. And this idea of duality has us believing that we're separate from life. And when I say life, I mean higher power, I mean spirit, right? We have this idea that spirit is out there and that little old me is here. And because we believe in that separation, or we're entertained by that separation, we think that we have to beg and beseech and do all of these things in order to live our best life, when in fact we already have our best life. It's a matter of realizing it and recognizing it. And when it comes to dis-ease, my life is eternal anyway. So even before I took on this physical mortal body, I was already spirit. I was already that. And so when I leave the I that is conscious of the I, when I quote unquote leave this body temple, huh, I am still eternal life. And so this idea of dis-ease, I usually ask, because I usually say, what are you here to teach me? What am I here to remember? What am I here to know? Right? With when I wear my glasses and I say, "Oh, huh, what am I here? What am I here to see better? Like what is this for in my life? What am I birthing through this life process here, recognizing that my life is still eternal?" And so I don't curse the disease as much as I ask it what it's here to teach me, what it is I am to learn from it. So, in essence, Alina, you are right. We already have our best life. Exactly. Even with the human conditions that we have, it is still our best life because it is life itself. Wow, time flies when I'm having fun. This has been an amazing time that I've had with you all today, in talking about spiritual practices, and then putting in that nugget about recognizing who in fact we really are. We're the unique, unrepeatable, magnificent way that spirit shows up in human form, which means that that which is true of spirit, of higher power, is true for us. And so, beloved, when we engage in these spiritual practices, we enhance our lives and we remember the truth of who we are. And then we can walk from that place of love, of joy, of peace, of power, because we remember who we are. And so I trust that this message has been a gift unto your life today. I want to remind you that on the 22nd, I have a Living the Serenity Prayer workshop, and you are invited. Please visit our website, vidaslc.org, for more information. Until next week, know that you are loved. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to A Spiritual Remedy. Use the links in the description for prayer requests, to donate to Be That Spiritual Learning Center, and to join our mailing list. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And you can visit us at vidaslc.org for more information.